Okay, so in this video I will explain you a template which I have been working on. I modified the default template of rigid body platformer. Okay, so what I will do is I will show you the entire structure. Maybe it will not be a complete tutorial, but at least I can explain few things to you here. So this is the project folder. Okay, and so this is the default demo, okay, which you get. Okay, now I used this and I used one tutorial, so that was how to save. So you can save using the default method as well, which is there in the godot community, in the godot documentation. But okay, anyways, I have the link for that tutorial in the description, so you can check that saving, or you can use the default method. So I used that and I extended it to make a bigger save system. So for instance, there are 4 files set to auto load. So if you go into project settings and in auto load, there are 4 files: profile, save, global, and item info. So item info profile would contain the current profile of the player. Like if I play and if I click on start, this is the profile, current profile. So this is profile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can add 4 characters. So if I choose profile 4 and if I play, you can see that I get this red color character with his own save system. Now if I go back and if I click on character 1, so if I go back, okay, so if I click now character 1, so this is another save. I'll come back to all this later on. So if I now click on character 4 and confirm, okay, now I will delete the save files. So these are the save files. This is the intros.svv, which is from the profile.gd. Okay, in this there are several variables and few variables, and in save profile state there is a function, and load profile state. So using save profile state, the profile can be saved. These variables are taken from data, which is here, profile data. So where data is profile data. Okay, and now in load profile state, if there is no initial save file, so we can create it using a loop, using the save profile state right inside the loop. I came up with this. I don't know, someone else also might have, but I came up with this. So I started I started with two functions: load profile state and save profile state, and then I used them in two files. You can use them in one file as well, but I used them in two. So one is profile.gd. This is also autoload. Another is save.gd. This is also autoload. So here also the same function is there, like similar function. load game state and save game state. Yeah. So for instance, in profile.gd, we will load profile state, and if the file does not exist, the file is here. It's the variable, how you add variable plus n, this variable, yeah, and it will create this file. And in my level file, in my splash screen file, I think, or in some consecutive file, I have set the name to intro. Okay, so if I open this intro, you can see that current player, character 4, settings, difficulty easy, BGM background music is true, and SFX is also true, and this is the volume. So if I close this, now BGM wall, SFX wall, okay, and BGM, all these things. So this current player will change depending on what you have selected here. For instance, if I select here, and initially the save current player was set to player 0, so 0 player. If what I'll do is I'll delete this, okay, and when I delete all the save game files, and if I just click on play, now you can see that intro and char1 have been created. How? Intro, by default I have set this variable in some file to be, where I called this function load profile state to be intro, okay, and splash stream, let us check splash stream.gd. So function ready, load profile state, intro. So it created a file named intro.sve, intro.sve. Now intro, so yeah, these settings are will be called from settings.gd. So in settings.gd is difficulty, volume, etc. And in save profile, okay, so similarly like in profile.gd, if I click on stop and play, now we can select the profile. Now if I confirm selection and if I go to world 1, now world 2 is locked, world 3 is also locked. So I have set it to locked and it is saved in the save game file, as you can see, character 2. So unlocked abilities, somewhere there would be that world 2 is locked, or I can include it, current world 1, worlds unlocked would be 0. And this, so one file, save file, would be created by this script profile.gd, and another save file would be created by save.gd. So that file is this one which I just opened, which is the char1 or char2 depending on which character is selected. So after I select one character, on the next page automatically slots save would be created, and I have for that a third auto load script, I think, or maybe not auto load, but I have a third, I think, global. So in global.gd, I have here another load quick slot and save quick slot. So in this we can store quick access weapons, items, other things. And then load quick slot depending on where to load. So type, subtype, item, weapon type, weapon subtype, spell type, spell subtype, and this is for the other items like potions and all. So I made this code, and after this I'll be making two sets of games. One, my sister would be making all the graphics, and I would straight away include that. So quickly, I'll make many games using that method. And another, there would be my art and what I make using Blender and little bit of Gin, no, but only Blender. And third would be my sister would be giving me several, like a character sketch, and I would make that in Blender. And because she is an artist, I am not exactly an artist. I learned art, but I can make characters that, I mean, I might not have that inventive streak, but I can make simple objects like barrels and stones and trees and oceans and things like that. Yeah. But now, so load slot, it will load the slots. So we have three save. Now in the fourth auto load, which is item info.gd, I have the info for the items. For instance, weapons info, weapons images. This is just one image added, so you can add more here. This is the weapon type and the subtype, like knives, knife 1, knife 2, knife 3, knife type 4, knife type 5. Knives, swords, maces, daggers, pistols, pistol type 2, assault gun, assault rifles, whatever. Yeah. Similarly, spells, fireballs. So this will be the simple fireball. This will be a multi fireball, and then a firestorm, and then electricity, something like that. Yeah. And so this description we can use. For instance, if I click on play again, and if I start and go to the inventory, so now I paused the game and it opened the inventory page. And if I click on knife, I'll get this exact text here. So I need not type this text all the time. Wherever I need to call this, I can just use value from this variable. And to this, for instance, what you call mace, a mace which can easily break bones of enemies by causing damage. So if I take change text here, it will be changed there as well. So one mace. So you see this text has changed. I'll just undo it and weapons images, and all sorts of item info, spells info, like what are the names, descriptions, spells images, shields, armor, potions, everything can be stored in one single file. You can store stories, books, like in Skyrim. You can store entire stories in a dictionary, and this dictionary is not saved anywhere. You can see that I have not saved any information in the user's system, so this is there in the code, hard coded. Now some of this information you might want to change, so then you can save this information as well, like we did for the other three files. And here we can write a function to save, and we can change these values and store them in a file as well, and call that from those files. For instance, if the knife is upgraded, so we can write here this is upgraded or something like that. And now these are the main autoload files. So if I click on play now we can go to settings. So settings, game settings, there are three tabs. Here I'll include the Google Play and Facebook Connect things using the modules. And difficulty easy, medium, hard. So for instance, if I save this, similarly there is a save file for profile for settings.gd. Like if I can go here, and this settings.gd, so profile.gd will save the settings for settings.gd. So I have only few things here, like difficulty easy. So if difficulty is easy, we can load few enemies. If it's medium, we can load more. If it's hard, we can load many more. Same goes for graphics. So if graphics are low quality, we can include low quality textures like only 64 by 64, and high quality we can go up to 512 or 256, and then backgrounds also higher resolution, among other things such as particle effects, and do not include them in low settings, or you can give uh, multiple settings like you see in most games. So, and settings. So I also have a shop. Okay, we'll come to this later. So settings is done. Similarly, there are player settings. You can reset a character, select one, and reset it. Reset all characters. So like I go into profile.gd and sorry, settings.gd on reset character exist. Character reset 4, and straight away here after reset all on save settings, if the user presses player settings, he presses reset. If I click cancel, nothing happens. Player settings, if I press reset, yes, and now if I save settings, the entire file will be deleted. I mean, it's not deleted here because by default it creates. So I'll show you by deleting character 2. So we go here, settings, player settings, character 2, reset, yes, still not deleted. But now if I click on save settings, yes, now character 2 is gone. Now for slots I didn't do it, but yeah, I'll do it for slots as well. So this is now if I click on reset all characters, all would be deleted. Now for that I'll start game with character 4. Go to menu, and now as you can see character 4 is here. So I'll press this settings, reset all characters, reset, save settings, save. Now if I come here, okay, I might have not added it, but yeah, so I'll add it. Anyways, let's go to BGM wall. Also can be increased or decreased. There are simple functions. So in the settings page, save settings. Okay, so the profile page only. So BGM volume. So audio server function we have to call. I might not have included it. I had included it. Okay, so you can use that. Now let's come to the game. So the game has lots of improvements over the over the default template, obviously. So level 2 is also locked, level 3, yeah. So every world can have multiple levels. And now how I do that part is we can worlds. So I'll come to world select. Now this is the script for this scene, world select scene. So I load the profile and hold run pressed. Okay. So simply I just load the level. So this go to scene is called using the advanced, not the expert method, but yeah, the advanced without the background images method to load the scene. Now get tree, we can simply use get tree dot change current scene. That also works, but sometimes it leaves behind children, and we don't want that. It leaves behind floating objects from what I know. So on similarly on world 2 pressed we load the level select level, but current world and save current world would be, this will only be loaded if unlocked worlds is greater than 2. So in the save file we can save this as a variable, and we can increase it once user passes the checkpoint for the 10th level of the world one, for instance. Okay, otherwise it will show the locked pop-up. So locked pop-up, I've created a function, and locked pop-up, it will just show this pop-up which is on the world select page. And this pop-up is an instanced pop-up which is common for the world select, level select, and some pop-ups. So I have basically two to three pop-ups. One is a simple pop-up and one is an advanced pop-up, and I think one is this thing. This is the advanced, and maybe I'll change this pop-up to make it the third pop-up. Test back. Yeah. So similarly, this back button is also instanced, I think, or not maybe. Okay, credits also artists of use and external artists. Okay. Now this is world select. So after world select, this will go to level select. So I will go to levels. So this is checkpoint file. One file earlier I had some 7 files, which was not a good method. So now I have one single file, checkpoint.gd. Now this file checks whether it has entered the body of the checkpoint. So for instance, I have checkpoint.tscn. Okay, now in checkpoint.gd, okay, I will have an export variable. So export int var. So this is the checkpoint number. Simple one export variable. Okay, and about it. So this is the pop-up text, and so this variable can change for every checkpoint. For instance, I have this level 1. Okay, stage 1, sorry. So stage 1, if I open it, and so I have two scenes. I have the cave scene as well. So stage 1, if I open, you can see that I have sorted it, and there are checkpoints here. So 0, 1, 2. This is the instance of that same checkpoint. But if I go here, I have changed the number to 0, 1, 2, and the final. This checkpoint final. So checkpoint final.gd. So there's a T scene which is similar to that scene. You can change the image. So checkpoint final.gd, this is just one. So for that you have to pass the total number of points, all passed total. So total is also a variable, is a function. I'll call this function variable from different function. So for every level this total value would be different. So that we can change in stage.gd. For instance, if I go to stage 1, there is a stage1.gd which inherits from stage.gd. So if I open stage.gd, we can have a variable, or maybe I already have a variable here, which would be for that checkpoint number. So, and we can change that variable in every stage file. This is a bit old thing which I read, so this is not very effective. I have to set the volume in the main stage file or something else, somewhere else. So after I go to level select, world select, then checkpoints, and then level select. So level select, after world select, you come to level select, similar to world select. So if I'm on world 2, if current world is equal to 1, and go to save this. Okay, and unlock worlds. So unlock levels have to be, after level 1, unlock levels also have to be greater than equal to 2 or greater than 1. You can use anything. Okay, otherwise it will again display the locked pop-up. For that also I have another function here, and this function is a little different because this is, I'm using a loop. Okay, so I will explain all this in detail later on. I can, but I'll have to first check what I did. So this is a loop which iterates 5 items because we have 5 levels for each word. We can change this to, if you have per word you have 15 levels, you can change this to 15. And I minus 1 is, for instance, I is 0, I is 1, so 1 minus 1 is 0, so 0 star 5, 5 plus 2 is 7. So what I calculated it, so it exactly turns out to be this number. It always displays log pop when it's there. So yeah. And now after level select, you come to this, to the main stage. Now here there are many things. For instance, I have to hide this, but now there is one barrel, this is a potion, this is a coin. Now this is an interactable, this is also an interactable, and the coins are also interactable. So this is a different kind of, this is perishable. Perishable means it will, if I take this and if I pause and quit to menu, if I check here, I have not included it, but potion, health potion will be 1, and you can see that it disappeared. So I go to inventory, potions, type 1, inventory, potions. So health potions, type 1 into 1, so we have that one potion. Similarly we can have, so I can drop this as well. I don't think I am. So after this, now you can go to the recommended channels list on the right side. I have the other different kinds of tutorials which I put, and some other things. I also play a guitar and play the guitar and make music using LMMS, which is not that great, but yeah, I can use, at least include that music in my games. So it will be indie games too, some of them at least. So for the inventory, we can to collect the item. So first of all, there is an inventory item.gd file and separate files for the potions, for instance. So for the potion, it extends that inventory item.gd file. Now on the potions scene file, if I go, now on the button array selected, so this is the array. So if I select one of this, it will give the potions number, which is the button idx. So this is a variable in the save file. I'll put these templates up as well so you can understand these better. Maybe I'll not put everything, but I'll put at least the major parts. Okay, and so yes, for after I click on any tab in the V button array, then it will set the info which is in the inventory item.gd script. Now set info. So panel label is this according to these values. Panel label is, I think, this, and panel label 1 is this. So it will set the info to this, and final H button array will set the amount. Similarly, it will set description, add to quick slot. I have to still equip, also I have to still use drop. Now if I go to potions.gd again, and now we come to H button array. So there is this V buttons, inventory, now potions, V buttons, now this is the H button. So for every V button we have 5 H buttons. So this is like health potion with healing of 100, health potion with healing of 120, 140, 180, 200, 250, whatever. So these kind of things. Now, so if I have selected one, it will show some information what do you want to do. So it will only run that function for dropping that particular sub potion in this case. So this is the potions. So for, similarly we can have different other things like weapons, spells. You can also make one single file, but that is a little complicated, so my strategy is to make 5 files first, at least for these kind of complicated files, 5 files first and then combine them to one if possible. Okay, so the next thing we here have is how the user collects the potion. So for that I have H potion. So again you can have a potion.gd file. I'll try that, but I found this easier. So on H potion body enter, it will run these functions. This is, I have modified the default, in the default template there is just a gold coin function. So I have default modified it and set values for adding score, and these all functions are there in the save file. And adding coins, this is the coin type, it's just gold here. So if it could have been silver, in the silver scoin.gd file I will include save.addCoins 1,1. Okay, or we can have one coin.gd file and we can use variables and for loops to make one single function for every coin collectible. Same goes for the potions and all we did. And now we have the gate. So there are two types of interactables. I mean two types of items, which one are interactables and one are collectibles. So for instance, if I go here, scenes, now interactables, and okay, maybe I changed that. So yeah, these are interactables like houses, huts, wormholes, caves. I have made caves, I have made doors and barrels, and boxes and chests, and levers, buttons and gates. Yeah, so I have made these. I have yet to make these, I think, and this as well. So let's see what we have made. So first of all I'll show you the barrel. I already talked about the health potion, so that is also a that is not an interactable, that is a collectible, little different. So yeah, a barrel. So simple, a barrel. Let's open barrel.gd. So it extends interactable.gd and simple. Initially it will play an animation called closed, and if not interacted, it will open it. If interacted, it will close it. As simple as that. Now we can add various things like they can have items, which I have yet to do, spawn items, spawn random items, and other things like only spawn special items once. So that special item could go in the collectible and perishable. So basically there are two types of collectibles, one are perishables and one are basic. So the health potion which we collected was a perishable collectible. Now this is interactable. I'll show you all the interactables. This is interactable. The health potion was a perishable. Now this is a perishable, but this is not collectible. This is basic. This is also interactable. A chest. This is also interactable. Yeah. So if I go there, press the interact button, which is E, to change the switch. Now this is just some rigid body fun which I was having. Okay. Now as you can see that this is a gate. So this gate opens by a lever. So I think, okay. So the lever is up. Now this is a plugin which I was using for a black hole. Okay. Now this is a lever. My lever. Okay. This is a lever. Now if I have turned the lever, I can collect the health potion. So +1 health potion. And now we have here 2 potions. Type 1 multiplied by 2. Okay. So the gate has opened. Yeah. Similarly, there are two types. This is an NPC. So this uses a similar file to the player file, and it auto jumps when it sees an obstacle. And this is also an interactable, which is a barrel. Now this is a door. Now this enemy sees me and he will attack me, but the door. So I'll open the door and let's see what he does. He will attack me, so before that I will kill him. Kill, die. Okay. So his health is 0 now. I have parented. Now this is a cave. Another thing which I did was I did run. So now if I do normal walking, this is walking, jump. Now if I tap, wait, it will run. And you can see the stamina is decreasing. See? Okay, if I press jump, it resets, but I'll fix that. So we can press again E to close the door. Similarly, there is another kind of interactable, which is a cave. I made this using Blender. It's just a simple, but I can. So go inside. Now if I go inside, it will load another level. I will change it to a cave level, but you can see that it is completely different. Okay. So those were the interactables. Okay, so I will open interactables and see what all is there. So I've used a connect to connect that to self. Okay, and the functions which I've used are here: interactable area enter, interactable area exit. Okay, true. And this I don't use, I think, but interactables are For instance, I'll open the barrel. This was simple, I explained. So box is also like a barrel, and button, now it will play animation. So button we can also assign to open like I did for a gate. So if I open gate.gd, now it will open gate, but it will do it only if the lever has been pressed. Okay, so for that I called the function, I think, in another file, do interaction. Okay, so lever.gd also there will be a file. Okay, now lever.gd. Now this file will have an export variable. Similarly, the gate will also have an export variable. That's it, I just match the gate with the lever. So if I go to stage 1, go to scene and click on this lever, you can see that lever ID is 0. Similarly, if I click on this gate, the gate ID is 0. So for lever 2, lever 1, whatever, I'll have the gate ID as 1. Okay, so it will only open if the lever has been opened. Okay, so in the interactables I might have a function for that, I think. Opened, where opened is equal to false. Okay, I have not saved it, I think. So yeah, you can save the open state value and you can call it at ready. So I think now if I again play the game, the gate will be closed. I was still learning everything while I was making this. Yeah, it's still closed. So it's not saved like the health potion. See, health potion, if I collect once, it won't be visible. So I can do the same for the gate. Okay, now comes cave. So for cave, we have to change a scene. You can also change the position of the player to somewhere down below or somewhere else, somewhere to the right, top. But I prefer to change the scene. Now caves also extends interactables. Now this is the stage of caves. So if I press to interaction, it simply change. There is no door to unlock, there is nothing. So simply change the scene. Okay, now again I have what left? Let's play the game. Just maybe a couple of 2, 3 more things. I already explained the checkpoints. So as you can see that this is the checkpoint. Now if I die, I will be, or if I quit, I will start from there. Okay, only this profile. So now for instance, if I click on the character 3, no, it will start from the start. And there are also the health potion. So inventory also does not have the, is into 0. So yeah, it will not even display the pop-up. Now if I again start using character 1, so I'll again, unless I delete the save file, I'll again, okay, now I will show you other main parts of this template. Okay, so I jumped here. Now there is one more lever which I included. You can assign it to a gate. This is another checkpoint. So if I die again, I'll come here. And now to go on this guy. Okay. Now you can see this is the third checkpoint, and after the third checkpoint has passed, only after I have passed that I can open this. Otherwise it will not open. It will say you have not passed the checkpoint. So this guy is an ally now. Now I'll explain all the types of characters. And these are the death items. The swords you can see on top, swords or whatever. And so this is an obstacle. Now if I talk to him, I can ask him to do several things. I have yet to make it better, but just minimize these. Like patrol the area. Now you'll start patrolling up to where his obstacle is. Okay, now if I again talk to him, okay, stop here. He stops. So now if I again talk to him, I'll ask him to jump over obstacles, and I'll say patrol the area. So he will jump over obstacles like this. And I have another checkpoint here, somewhere here or here, or okay, I think here. Let's see. I think I have point here. So he'll just go right from here. Okay, so this is the ally. Now as you can see, if I spawn an enemy, if I say, now he will shoot. Okay, he will not shoot. Some little buggy. Okay, so I can tell him to shoot. I'll show that later on. But yeah, now I'll show you a couple of more things, I think. Like death. That's about it, I guess. So one is this death. It will decrease the health. Okay. Now the health is also auto increasing. Now this is the stamina and this is the mana, which I've not used. But stamina, as you can see, if I run, sorry, the third is the stamina. So if I run, the stamina decreases. Okay. And the attacks. Okay, so if I run, the stamina decreases and it auto increases also the health. So I'll explain these couple of three things to you. And quit to menu. Okay, so I'll quit this game and explain those three things, and I think we are done for this video then. So a 1 hour video. Okay, now I will explain to you the players and the enemies. Okay, so I have four folders: players, allies, enemies, and NPCs. So I go to players. There is one player.tscnc and there is one script, player extended, which extends from player.gd, which is the default script of the default template. So I have made a player extended script which has several things. Like it extends first of all this, and health max health would be same. God mode is false. Okay, I'll maybe open it in this. So if I go to player.gd, this is the default script with of course few additions, and additions would be I'll explain these in detail later on, but yeah, the additions are simple actually. But for instance, I have fired 2 bullets. I can increase this to 3 for in range bullets. So there is a variable bullets. For instance, if I play the game now, and if I click on level select, 2 bullets are fired. Now if I open my player extended file and I click on bullets is equal to 5, and for instance I just fire, now I can fire 5 bullets, so 5 times the damage. So we can have multiple weapons, different kind of weapons. Okay, now if I write continuous as true, okay, so maybe this can be for a mega weapon, giga blaster or something like that. So false and true. So fly mode I think I have not even programmed, or I have. Let's see. I think this is not the fly mode but mega jump mode, I'll call this. We can have different animations for this. Whatever. So fly mode false. So we can have double jump, which I think I have not programmed. So yeah. Getting tired is for the stamina. Okay, and yeah, getting tired value decreases if the player is running. So if shift is if double walk is pressed, somewhere I have it. If I have pressed double walk and move left, okay. If left, running is equal to true. Okay, so there are counters which I have set. So for a certain value it will, and after that it will decrease that stamina value. Getting tired 5. So for instance we can, if set this number to different values as well. Run counter, run R, run L counter. This is all trial and error, so I think I will have to first study this first to explain it to you. But yeah, I can do this in 3 minutes, but I don't think we have 3 minutes now. So yes, you can have a look at this code and try to understand for yourself. Among other things which are all I explained, you can just pause this video at several times to look at the code if you want it right now. Okay, this was for running and stamina decrease. So getting tired 5. Now if I go to the function getting tired, getting tired, I think it passed. Search. Ah. Okay, so getting tired pass, and in player extended I'll have this function getting tired, stamina minus is equal to tiredness, so stamina decreases. Now in player extended I will have in the fixed process delta, I'll have these two functions, or maybe three, four functions to constantly increase the health, the stamina, as well as the mana. So it will, while max health, if max health is less than or equal to, if health is less than or equal to max health minus, this is for the error which was giving me weird values. So yeah, now yeah, it will just increase the delta which is the frame step, the I think the FPS first frame. So that delta value, it will per frame, it will multiplied by 2, so 1 into 2. So fixed process is, I'm sorry, fixed process is true here. So in ready I set the fixed process as true, I mean in the ready of the player. So yes, fixed process is true. So that fixed process, the true value will be 1 into 2, so it will be increased by 2. So if you can see, when I play here now, if I select character 3 and play, now if I see, you can see the health is decreasing. Okay, now I am dead, so I will continue. And I had this program, but now it's not working. I'll check this later. Yeah, so if I click on continue, it will load the level again. I think I changed the functions somewhere. So, and decrease the lives, and the health would constantly increase. So that's it, player like. So now there will be another player like NPC that will extend NPC 0, which is similar to player.gd. Similarly, player like ally. So for UI and HUDs, I have different functions for the player as well as for the player extended for the allies. So I will explain those later on, maybe. But yeah, that's about it, I think, for this tutorial, and stay tuned for great games which I'll make using this template which I created, and I will make more templates like this and share them, at least some of them or many of them, with the community as well. And that's it for now, I think. So subscribe if you like this, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye bye.